Hello everybody from Plant Reviews. Today, 1st of December, so officially at the end of autumn. And today is blooming one of my Narcissi, or daffodils if you prefer. There is a species Narcissus pachybolbus. This species come from northern Africa. In particular, I bought this plant at Broadleg Bulbs, and the bulbs of this seller come from Morocco. And this species is very closely related to Narcissus papyraceus. Possibly in Broadleg Bulb, at the Broadleg Bulb website, is written that this may be actually a small form of Narcissus papyraceus. However, in most of other sources I have read about Narcissus pachybolbus, this species is still considered an actual species. The plant is my plant is about 40 centimeters tall. The leaves, as usual for Narcissi, are quite strap-shaped and green, bluish green. And in between the leaves, obviously, you can see the flower stem. The flowers are pretty small. They are about 1.5 2 centimeters at the most, with 6 tepals, and the inner part there is the corona, the cap of this Narcissus, that, as you can see, is not split or lobed, but is an entire corona. So you can see just is a round cap. And this species in particular belongs to the group called Tazetta Narcissi, a group to which belongs, I think, the most fragrant of the Narcissi, of the daffodils available on the market, together with some Jonquilla and Triandrus, and obviously some species. However, in my opinion, the Tazettas are really the most fragrant of the Narcissi in general, in the majority of the cases. The flowers are of a gorgeous pure white, except for the pollen that is yellow, and the fragrance of this plant is very nice. I would say that it is strong in general for a flower. However, if you compare with other Narcissi, in particular Tazetta species and varieties, for example, the Avalanche or the Falconet or the Grand Soleil d'Or, really this species is slightly less fragrant, I would say. I can't really smell it from more than 1 meter far, but actually if you are close to the flowers, the smell is absolutely delightful. It is particularly sweet, and I think there are notes of like almond as well. So it is a really a pleasant fragrance. This plant is characterized by quite big bulbs, and you need to plant the bulbs about 10 centimeters deep in the ground. This species, I found that is usually hardy in USDA Zone 8, that is the zone in the UK where I live in. I live in Kent, so as you know, Kent is quite sunny. Indeed, today, 1st of December, late end of autumn, today is an incredibly beautiful day. Still, it is quite cold, but definitely incredibly sunny, and very nice to stay outside if you are well covered. And this species, like all Narcissi or daffodil, requires very well drained soil and full sun in order to thrive. I've read that this plant usually blooms in spring. Again, this plant unusually decided to bloom in this period. It started blooming a couple of days ago, and now basically 2 plants are in full bloom, while Meanwhile, I have, two bulbs are in full bloom, and I'm not too sure if I have another one. Yes, I have another bulb that is basically producing just now a flower stem, as you can see here. This is the stem where the flowers will develop. It is quite unusual that this species blooms in autumn. Some species of daffodils, like for example the viridiflorus, bloom in autumn characteristically, but most azettas, they usually bloom between late winter and spring. And however, I'm absolutely delighted by this autumnal blooming of this gorgeous plant, because the scent is delightful and the flowers are really nice, especially considering that in December I don't have many flowers here in my garden. So I actually, I don't have any except for actually another daffodil that started blooming a few weeks ago, as you can see here. And it's actually, this one is another related variety to the pachybolbus. This is not a species, this is a Narcissus variety, a Tazetta variety, and this one in particular is the paper white grandiflorus. The paper white, as you know, are forms of Narcissus papyraceus, and as I said at the start of the video, they are very closely related to the pachybolbus. So, and well, talking again about the pachybolbus, well, going back again to the plant, I have to say that as usual for most azetta, if you like a delightful fragrance in your garden, definitely this is one of my most recommended species you can have in your garden, as long as you have a very well drained soil and full sun. Some people recommend to have it in a cold greenhouse to avoid too much winter wet that combined with cold can be dangerous to bulbs. However, in the sources I have read, I found that in USDA zone 8, there is Kent and many other parts of the UK, it should be hardy in outside. However, obviously I will get back next spring talking in general about narcissi and daffodils, and I will tell you, hopefully, if all my narcissi were able to survive in outdoors in Kent, in my allotment or in my garden in Ashford, or unfortunately I lost some of them. So far it seems so good. Last year I left in winter many species, some varieties that were not considered hardy, like the paper white ziva in winter. The winter has not been particularly cold, but anyway, the paper white ziva bloomed perfectly in spring. I didn't lose any bulb during winter, and I am really pleased of it. And the pepper white ziva is another variety of pepper white, and again one of the most fragrant daffodils you can get in the garden. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like to support my channel, it would be great if you can please subscribe. Also, if you would like to leave any comment, positive or negative, I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. And if you like the video, also please give a like. It really helps a lot my gardening channel to grow. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.